Hi again. Just starting off this video, I'm just going to warn you, we've got a new little house guest or family member. It's a new little kitten called Bernard or Bernie. Um, and he's having a bit of a crazy evening. So you may well hear the very loud pitter-patter of feet. So he's about to take a flying jump at something. We'll see how it goes. Um, Anyway, I wanted to make a video today about something that's been going on with me for a couple of weeks now. It's not entirely resolved, but there he is. Hey, Bernie. Um, but yeah, hopefully it is going to start getting better from now on. Anyway, we'll get into it. So about over 2 weeks ago now. Almost 3 weeks ago, I started getting what felt like period pains. Now, I've had bad period pains in the past where I've actually had to call my mum to come get me because I've been stuck out somewhere in public. It was actually at a train station at a particular time, I remember, and I just couldn't walk anymore. It was so bad. That whole idea of if you exercise it, you'll feel better. Like PE teachers tell you when you're at school. Well, that's never really been the case for me, especially not when I have these really bad period pains. I'm basically crippled by them. I don't get them every time I have a period, and since having the kids, I seem to get them less, so that's a big bonus. Now, when I got this pain the other week, I was like, fine, okay, my period's going to start. Never great news, never that excited about your period, but I thought, well, okay. But then the pain lasted a while and I still didn't actually get my period, and I was starting to get quite dizzy, nauseous. I was thinking, God, am I pregnant now? I have the implant. So I was like, really? It's only been 2 years, so it should still be working. So it seems strange that I would suddenly get pregnant. I mean, there is a chance because it's not 100% effective, but it's unlikely. It's less than 1% chance. But as a week went on, I was like, I don't know, not feeling great. So I took a pregnancy test, came negative. But because I'm on the implant, my periods are kind of all over the place, so it's sort of hard to know when your last period was and when you're next due and things like that. You're all over the place. Anyway, the pain was getting so bad, I actually collapsed a couple of times from the pain and ended up on the floor crying. One time with just me here on my own with the 2 kids, so that wasn't great. So I ended up going to hospital and seeing if they could get some help. I went to the GP first. The GP tried to get me seen by a gynecology team that day, but it didn't work. It didn't happen. They weren't really answering their phones, so I ended up going to A&E under the GP's advice. A&E was, as usual, very, very busy, and because I wasn't presenting as urgent and because I wasn't in excruciating pain at that precise moment and there was no obvious sign of anything wrong with me, they did blood tests, the sort of the basic bloods, and they did urine sample. Didn't really have any idea what to do with me. They didn't really have any suggestions, so they just sort of prescribed some painkillers and sent me on my way, which is, I understand, they're very, very busy, and I clearly wasn't dying in that moment, so they sort of sent me away and suggested I go back to the GP. So I did. I went back to the GP and I got booked in for a transvaginal scan, which was going to happen the following week. Now, when I'm in as much pain as I was in, a week is a long time. So this was not a wonderful prospect for me. Now, I am quite good with pain generally. I got through 2 childbirths with just gas and air. Not that I'm saying that you're not amazing if you don't. If you had an epidural, or if you had any other kind of pain relief during your birth, you are amazing because you pushed a human being out of your body, or you had a human being come out of your body, and however they came out, you're amazing. Like, let's not play that game. But anyway, I was able to get through both my labours with gas and air, and I've had bad period pains before, and I usually tend to just go to sleep and then wake up a few hours later and tend to feel better. So for me to be this upset and this emotional because of the pain was very unusual. I also had this is more than people really need to know, but I had really painful breasts, and that's not a symptom I normally get with my periods. It's quite unique. And they were also, to me, they felt huge. I mean, to the general public, they'd still look like mosquito bites, but to me, they felt massive. They were just, yeah, anyway, very uncomfortable, and they still are. Anyway, I went to have the scan done, and they don't give you results. You have to wait. Now, I had the scan done on a Friday. The NHS kind of, at least GPs kind of shuts down Saturday, Sunday, because GPs tend to be Monday to Friday things. That's kind of, the wonder of GP work. But anyway, so I wasn't able to get my results until the very earliest Monday morning. And I was going away for the weekend. So I just felt awful. I can't even tell you how it feels. I mean, if you've ever had bad period pains, it's like you've got weights inside of your body dragging you down. That's how I can describe the feeling best. And at times, it also felt like I was going into labour, because the pain would start at the back and then move around to the front, down to the pelvic region and the groin. So it was overwhelmingly painful. Not all the time. It sort of ached all the time, and then every so often it was so overwhelming that you'd actually catch your breath like that. And then have to sort of breathe your way through it. So, sorry, I've got a bit of a cold today. So yeah, it was not pleasant. And we were going away. We were going to stay with my mother-in-law, which we'd been really looking forward to. We hadn't done it for a while, and it was just the worst timing. Anyway, we went and we did have a lovely time. I managed to pull myself together enough to have sort of one really good day. But with this, it seemed to be the more I did, the more in pain I was. And prior to going away, my parents had helped out a lot with the kids. Nick had helped out a lot with the kids. So I'd had a lot of help and support from friends, and also from family, and also friends. So I've been really lucky, actually. So thank you to all those people. But we were going away for the weekend. I wanted to be a part of that. I wanted to be engaged with the kids and my family, and so we spent a day on the Isle of Wight, which was lovely. And I haven't been to the Isle of Wight since I was a child, so it was really lovely to be there and to go and do that. But my body was just saying no, and by the end of the day, I was just beside myself. And the following day, it was like I'd run a marathon the day before. So anyway, we decided to come home a little earlier. We had intended to stay till the Monday morning, but in the end we came home Sunday afternoon, mainly because I'm the driver, and I just was like, I just need to get home, and I need to get home now. And I just felt like if I was going to have to drive that distance, I needed to be, I needed to go then. So we got home, and then also it meant I could get in touch with the doctor first thing Monday morning and go see them if I needed to. But the pain actually amped up quite a lot on the way home. I got really, really dizzy, very, very, very nauseous, and I just felt awful. So, sorry, I've just seen the cat falling asleep over there. It's very sweet. And so I ended up going to A&E that night. Had an ambulance called for me, and mainly just because I could barely walk. The pain was that bad. Anyway, so I got to A&E and they ran some more tests, and I had an X-ray, which I'm still not entirely sure why I had an X-ray, but I had an X-ray. And they managed to get hold of my scan results. And at that point, they decided that the most likely cause of the pain was kidney stones. So they wanted me to come back the following morning, first thing, for a CT scan. So Sunday night, around midnight, I was discharged from A&E, got home, had a few hours sleep. I have not been sleeping well because the pain is so bad. And then on the Monday morning, I had to be back at the hospital by 9. And I kind of wanted to be ahead of the queue, so I got there at like 8:30, something like that. So I had like no rest. I hadn't washed. I felt disgusting. I hadn't eaten anything since lunchtime on the Sunday, so I was really in good shape. And I ended up back in hospital and had the CT scan. So then had to wait for the results for that. Sorry, excuse me. And it turned out I did not have kidney stones. That is not what is going on with me. But they did find a cyst on my right ovary, which, because of the size of it, they don't imagine that that's what's causing the pain, but they can't be sure. So I have to have another scan in a few weeks' time, and if it's grown or changed or looks abnormal in any way, then that's probably the reason. They also noticed some thinning of the bone in my pelvis, so my GP is probably going to want to send me off for further CT scans to see if that's happening anywhere else in my body. It's very unusual for someone of my age, and I'm in relatively good condition apart from all the stuff that I've just described in this video. So it shouldn't really be happening, so it's worth checking that out as well. But that can often be caused by hormonal imbalances, an increased amount of I can't remember now. Oh, God. But anyway, hormonal imbalances. So the female hormones. So I need to get that checked out. But yeah, so it's still not entirely sure, and the only advice they could give me was to get my implant taken out, because that could be causing some of the side effects. It does seem strange to them that it would suddenly happen, but you never know, and it's worth a try if it will help me get rid of this pain. So today I went to the GP's and I got my implant taken out, and now I'm keeping my husband at arm's length until we can figure out what contraception we are going to use, because I am not prepared to have another baby right now. So yeah, that's the story of what's been going on. If anyone else has been through this, please comment below. I could really do with knowing that there are other people out there who've had similar things, or might have an idea about what's going on, or I don't know, just someone to share it with would be great. So yeah, if anyone wants to contribute, please do, or even just share it out with your friends. See if anyone that you know has been through something similar. I have at various points felt like I was going crazy because all the tests were coming back negative, and yet I was in this immense pain and I couldn't figure out why. And yeah, I'm sat here right now with a water bottle, much like you do during your period, and yeah, that's about it really. So anyway, it's a bye from me, and it's a bye from Bernie, who's now just decided he doesn't want to sleep and he's left the room. And it's a bye from my cold. Again, very sorry for that. But yeah, that's all I have to say. I'll keep you posted. Hopefully we'll figure out what it is. Fingers crossed it is the implant, and now that's out, things will start settling back down again. We'll see. Anyway, talk to you soon. Bye.